everyone. I'm Al Neely with Listen Up Podcast. Thank you for joining us today. Today we have Clara Wilson and Sean Tull, and they are from the New Vision Youth Services. It's a nonprofit foundation. They operate out of the South Norfolk section of Chesapeake, right?
Chesapeake.
Okay.
Yes.
Those borders, they always kind of confuse me because they're all, you have 3 cities sitting right there.
Yes.
And we have to start over. My mic's
Falling mic.
Yeah.
Falling mic syndrome.
I touched it. I shouldn't have. All right. That might be a little too high. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Al Neely with Listen Up Podcast. And today we have Clara Wilson and Sean Tull. They are from the New Vision Youth Services. It's a nonprofit organization based out of South Norfolk, which is considered Chesapeake. So if anybody knows the area, we have Chesapeake, Norfolk, and Virginia Beach. So y'all kind of coalesce right there in that intersection.
Yes.
I met you guys through Cash and your organization. It reaches into other cities in the area.
Yes.
And the great thing about it is we're all connected in this area. Mm-hmm. So you've done a lot of good work with youth. So talk about Ms. Wilson is the CEO and the president of the organization. Let's talk about how you got started. How old is the organization and when did you get started?
Yes. First of all, I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to be able to share the work that we do here at New Vision Youth Services Incorporated. And New Vision Youth Services is actually, we will be celebrating 16 years this month, August. Mm-hmm. We are based in South Norfolk, Chesapeake. We are a nonprofit organization, and we provide services to disadvantaged at-risk youth, age 13 up to 21. We go up to 24 if they're in the foster care system. The organization was started by myself as far as being the founder of New Vision. I actually started with the focus with youth that were aging out of the foster care system that did not have a family support system. I started working in a boys facility where I was actually teaching life skills to young men that was aging out of the foster care system and did not have a family support system. The challenges that I saw there working at that facility where no family, transitioning from the foster care system, going to college and not having a place to come back to during the holidays, spending the holidays there and witnessing no one on Christmas days. I took my experience from working there and tried to see how I can affect change as far as change in the system, changing as far as advocating on behalf of youth that were in the system that didn't have a place to go and didn't have a support system. And so the organization has been, like I said, operating for 16 years, and we started always working with the homeless population, individuals that were always at an emergency crisis level, and we took that and expanded throughout the years as far as ways that we can prevent homelessness, ways that we could create solutions, ways that we can make self-sufficiency, which is the goal of our organization, to help everyone to become self-sufficient and be able to take care of themselves. And so through our work, that's where we've developed programs, not just basically working in an emergency level at all the times, but finding solutions to what the crisis is.
Gotcha. Sean, let me make sure. Norfolk State graduate, you have a degree in social work, is that correct?
Actually, communications, bachelor, then master's in counseling.
And counseling. Okay. How did you become involved with the organization?
Well, actually, this is 1 year for me now.
Okay.
Yeah. We, one of my passions have always been working with youth. My background from ever since I've been in Virginia, working with youth as in ministry, was a youth pastor earlier in my life, and helped build at a church, Chesapeake Christian Center, like a vibrant youth program that had up to like 200 youth and so on. And that just stayed with me throughout my career when I went into television, then into finances. Okay. But when I came to a place where I was like, hey, after COVID, I was like, wanted to kind of touch back into my passion, and I saw this position of the program coordinator, and really didn't know a lot of what New Vision did at the time. But ever since I came on board, just the ability to impact so many young people throughout the cities, because I say cities because it's just we're in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Norfolk, Portsmouth. We have touched and even some other areas, just helping them become productive young adults. So I get the chance as a program coordinator really to sometimes be the first time touching them, or being a place to tell other organizations that, hey, we're here as a resource for them, and tying them together. And what we do is so important. So I get to see also then the results of young people when they take hold of the tools, how they're becoming better. And that's what it's all about.
Right. Ms. Wilson, I vaguely know that you work with a lot of the educational the schools and educational programs in each one of the cities. Yes. How did you come about being able to provide what you're doing, and then having that combined with what the needs are of the cities? And what cities are you working with?
Well, we're basic. Like I said, our headquarters is based in South Norfolk,
right,
which is a part of Chesapeake.
Right.
We provide services to mostly all the cities. Chesapeake, we're in the city of Chesapeake. We have expanded here to Virginia Beach with our educational program. But
what takes place with the educational program?
So the educational program is we provide GED prep and GED classes. So our program, our GED program, prep program, is a custom program that's designed to fill a void what we saw that was, I want to say, a hole in the system. With our program, one of the things, as far as with Sean working with on a daily basis, we have many social workers, probation officers, schools that will reach out to us, and we'll have students that have fallen so far behind that may not be at a fault of their own. It could be parents could be absent. It could be homelessness, or it could be the COVID situation, which we had to go through a huge crisis on that level.
Did you have to make adjustments for what you were doing prior to COVID?
Yes.
What are you seeing now?
Yes. So
and what did you both?
Yes.
Before and after.
So before COVID, we had built a custom GED program where we were working with students that would fit our model. And when I say our model, is these students that are so far behind that they will not be able to graduate with their peers. And then you had the students that were not able to were so far behind they couldn't take the basic tests to obtain their GED, because there's 4 tests that you would have to pass in order to get the GED. And like the score range 145 to 150 to say pass each test. They may be scoring at a 120 or 119 or below. And so those individuals were not ready to test to pass the GED. So we had to create a model to meet them where they are, to do the prep program that we developed, where we work with case managers that do an initial assessment, and then the initial assessment determines where they are testing at with the GED ready, and then the practice assignments we brought on. We had one instructor, then we have now two instructors, and each instructor personalized each individual situation, working with a full team, programmers, case managers, the GED instructors, life skill coaches. Everyone is involved to make the person whole, and so it takes a team.
Yeah. Do you realize, or are you seeing, or can you identify, if you had to put it in categories, you deal with foster children as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. And one of the things that I learned from you was, never thought about it, once you're in a foster home, you get to a certain age, you have to leave that program, right? So you're homeless.
Yes.
So thanks for teaching me that. But are you seeing a need in specific areas? Is it the house, the economic situation from a housing standpoint or a family standpoint, or is it some other issues? Is it foster or people that are dealing with human trafficking? I'm just trying to figure out where are you seeing the biggest cause of the issue? So
all of those we can find.
Yeah.
But I want to say, as far as let's touch back to the aging out. We call the term aging out of the foster care system. That's where we started as far as building the organization on aging out, working at the facility that I was referring to earlier. Once a youth, they're, say, in the foster care system and they turn 18, they have the choice to leave the system, or they can go into alternative programs with, if they have the, I want to say, if they meet the level of going into like the programs, as far as many programs where they are able to go into college, and college is paid for, or school is paid for. But the ones that have been in the foster care system and they turn 18, some of the youth that are in the program may say, I have been in the system so long and I haven't had the ability to make my own decisions, to do what I want to do. And when I turn 18, I finally can say, I now can do what I can do, and I don't have to basically be in the system anymore. So many may choose to go that route. But being in a system, of course, there's a reason why you're there, because there's no family, maybe no family or no support system. And many of them may lack the skills to be able to take care of themselves, and not having that family support system or anyone. Pretty soon, for working in New Vision, we've seen the homelessness may kick in like within a short period of time, because many people will look at, say, you have a mother and a father, or you have an aunt or uncle. We work with individuals that have no one. There's no one in that circle. So the crisis sets in, and many of the individuals, I think the majority of individuals that are sex trafficked are from the foster care system, because it could be what they may call an easy target. The vulnerable kids that are out there that don't have no one that will hold them accountable, or have someone that may be there to say, where's this person, because, that's a family member that's not there. So I can see as far as how that could possibly be a target. So we've done many advocacy work, working as far as addressing the bills for foster care. We've done a lot of work as far as working with the Affordable Care Act, as far as kids that are in the foster care system that do not have family supports. For instance, a person with a mother and father would stay on their parents' insurance until age 24. They had to go back and think about, okay, well, what about the foster care individuals that don't have parents? So that bill, at one point, was edited so it would address the ones that don't have parents, that do not have insurance to fall under, as far as with the, I believe, as far as the Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act program.
So I'm curious because I want to know, has the current policies changed? So are those programs still available or no?
Yes. So I'm gonna let you address what you know, Sharon. Of all the work that we've done in 16 years, I now can say that this is the first time that we've ever seen a crisis where we are trying to refocus on what's going to be next. We are at a time where nonprofits are addressing so many issues where the funding cutbacks. So when we first started addressing the challenges, we didn't think that we would be affected because we are not a federal funded program.
Yeah.
And so, but as we went along, most of the funders that we work with that trickle down to us as a nonprofit are federally funded. And so these are trying times for many of the nonprofits right now. And not just for the nonprofits in regards to the cutbacks, but the services in general. Our everyday is to support homeless individuals, homeless people that do not have anyone. The cutbacks that we've seen in services for homeless people is kind of it's unbelievable. And the services as far as in general, the cutbacks. So we are in a trying time right now, and everyone, not just New Vision, everyone have to regroup and see how we need to step in, trying to find new people to step up to replace the services that's not just been cut for nonprofits, but the services that are cut for, in particular, homeless individuals that don't have anything.
Yeah. Are you connected, or do you have relationships or move back and forth with other nonprofits?
Yes.
Okay. And similar nonprofits, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. So that's where you're getting your information.
Yes.
Are you finding that you are able to come up with ways to keep things going? Or has it been difficult? Is that a Sean question?
I just chuckle. I will let, but that's definitely a difficulty because what we're doing is we're literally having to replace on the fly because there's no warning, no real. The thing is, everything happened so quickly,
so fast.
It was no time really to prepare. It's just a sudden change. So with that, as our organization, we know we had to change. We had to adapt. We're not going to not do the work. The need for the services is still there.
Yes.
Actually, is increasing.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, we have to do that services. In that same part, I like to kind of put it like this. This is where the community, if they value the services, they need to support, because if the government can't or won't be able to support, then really it's the community, your friends, your business owners, your the ones that's being affected, because when it's impacting the streets, or when someone sees someone homeless on the street, really that's a byproduct. That's not the problem. That's a byproduct. That's the symptom of the problem. But if you want to solve the problem, you have to get to the people who are solving and getting those situations, keeping people from being vulnerable, from being on the street, from like the foster care, or being trafficked, or going into when they're feeling desperate that they might have to turn to crime, or any of those things, because all those things are really symptoms of another problem. That's why I had always loved New Vision. When I came and I saw that we like even the GED program or the transitional housing program is the two main programs, that we was focused on the individual and what is the issues behind it.
Yes.
Because, if your issue is really homelessness or hunger or you need support, then you can't focus on school, right? School is about the failure at school or lack of attendance or doing that is the symptom of what's the cause.
What's the cause?
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed, I've always had that desire and want to be benevolent and to go out in the community and help. What I realize is there are a lot of people, a lot of organizations doing a lot of this work, right? And people don't know about them.
Yeah.
They're doing good and they're having a difficult time keeping up, right? And everyone says there's a need for it. We are, it's commendable what you guys do. I'm just trying to figure out how we can help get some of this stuff funded from talking with all these organizations. It's been a challenge.
I think, like I said, everyone is forced to make an adjustment with the new changes.
Right.
And so I think what needs to be as far as communicated, as far as for the community, we're hoping that the community can step in and be involved a little bit more. Homelessness is a huge crisis. A lot of people will come to us and say, well, why are they in the situation they're in? We have to explain a lot of times that you have someone in your circle, aunt, brother, cousin. There's most of the people that we work with, there is no one in that circle. There's no one. And so they're working or they're living on the street because there's no brother, there's no sister, there's no family. And so we educate and try to communicate that as much as possible for someone to say, well, why is the person not working? Person may not be working because there was no mother, there was no father, there was no system. They didn't have the ability. They may have been in the foster care system all their lives, and when they turn 18, they're out. There's no one in that circle. So we try to address our challenges holistically, addressing the person in whole. We have a GED program, of course, here. We just expanded here in Virginia Beach, and then we have the GED program in South Norfolk Tuesdays and Thursdays. We can't, for instance, one of the things we talk about, we can't expect the person to be in the class if there's no food, or they have no one at home or a place to go. So even though they come to us and say, we want to go into the GED program, the team that we put together before we even get to that level, we address the instability, what's causing you to be where you're at on a case management level, and fix those challenges first. And then the GED class comes later, but unless you're whole, you have clothes, you have food, you have shoes, you have just the basic needs, or you don't have a place to go and you may sleep in your car. Yes, we'll help you with your GED, but that's address the housing challenges where you're at. You don't have any food, no clothes. So all of these partners that we have partnered with throughout the years fills in the void, the food pantry that we work with. Many of the donors or partners that we have that donate us gift cards for people that's walking through the door and say, I don't have any groceries. We provide those free gift cards. People that walk in the door and say, I need to come to the GED class, but I don't have transportation. We have donated gift cards for bus passes for the transportation. So all of those things makes the program works, but it all works because of the support of the community and the funding systems that we have. But many of the funding systems are being taken away, and that's what I want people to know, that the challenges are here. I do know that where we're at right now, many of the nonprofits are not going to survive a year because of the cutbacks. So even if, we would love, everyone to support our organization, but if you know an organization that you are working with, contact that organization. They will tell you about the challenges and support in some way. It could be just 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours a week or hours a month, or delivering merchandise like our transportation people. We have people that have trucks that pick up items for our component. Yeah. But you can get involved in any way. There's a lot that you can do, and it only requires a little bit of your time. But if the community have to step up at this point and try to help with not just our nonprofit, but all the nonprofits, because if the where we're at now, there's going to have to be some assistance at many different levels.
Gotcha. One of the things I think takes place is when I say we, I even found myself not understanding the situation and how people get in that, and then judging them based on what's taking place in my life experiences. And I found that is completely different. You can't judge someone based on the way you've lived your life or what you've done. Each and every person is different. So what I try to do is try to bring awareness to that. Like the quote, Dr. King, you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but you don't have any laces.
Exactly.
It's, I think we get caught up in that as a society. Well, that's just what they need to do. Of course, it is if you think you can do it, or if you have the support system around you, the family. And I have a huge family, so that is there. Even in this area, I have friends and family. A lot of people don't have. Yeah. But one of the things I want to know, what specific programs, you've been doing this for a while, you've gotten recognition from the Congress and things like that. So what programs have been taken away or has been causing the challenges? Which ones have been taken away? So people, let's talk about this so people know what exactly it is, because everything in general, people are just talking about these programs have gone away because of the new administration's policies, right?
So let's just go over just a few things that we know that have affected us.
Okay.
So we provide a custom housing program. With the custom housing program, the reason why that program was created because we try to cater to our specific population that may have challenges, that may not qualify or can't afford the housing in general, as far as shelter. With the funding cutbacks, we still provide that program, but we had to cut back drastically on the funding that we provide to the individuals that come into our program that meet the qualification of going into the housing. So the funding, that was one of the cuts that we've had to make recently.
Okay. That was funding for housing for people that are in this situation.
Yes.
And where did that funding come from specifically?
From grants.
From grants.
Which has been cut.
Were provided by state, or are they federal grants mainly?
So two of our top funders relied on federal funding. Federal funding, and I'm not as far as no specific name, but give you one of our top funders received federal funding throughout the years. Part of what they do with their federal funding was to support the local partners that work with them. We were a local partner, so we relied totally on that funding for like the last 5 years. So I think this was like the first year that we receive a notification, we are at a crisis level. We can't help you.
I want to get forensic, but go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to give a real quick personal example of that. So we had a young lady, she turned age 21. This is one of my first cases that came in and was like really up to running. She turned 21 right around, I think it was the 21st of December, which means she was in the foster care system. which means that on her 21st birthday, for her birthday present, she was basically homeless. So she basically got a garbage bag like with your items. Hey, nice to meet you. Now you're on your own. I'm not saying that that's what they said exactly, but that's what's. That's
basically what something like that implies.
Results, right? Yeah, that's the results of that. She called us in crisis mode because of our transitional program. We was able to do some things, and this is the mediator part. I was actually able to talk to some friends of hers. They was able to keep her over the weekend because this happened on a Friday over the weekend to come back to Monday. I believe the 24th was either Monday or Tuesday, but they was only going to keep her there. Our transitional housing program, we had a part where we call preventive program, where we could actually make arrangements like with someone to give them a stipend to say, hey, can you hold this person for a month, 2 months, as we put a plan together for them to move and do whatever they need to do next. Well, we was able to do that, a little stipend part of that. And in this case, example, might only be like $200, might $250, whatever that is, because, that's going to be more on their bills. But that was able to keep her and held her up. And instead of being homeless, as she was telling me she was just going to drive to the beach, Virginia Beach, oceanfront, and sleep out there in December, which is not warm.
Yeah, but Virginia Beach is not going to let people do that.
Right.
I live there.
Well, and that means you're hiding and trying to get through and do all that stuff. Yeah. Instead of that, she was actually on Christmas Eve able to have a place to stay. And in January, we was able to start helping her transition to start getting her own place. She's now have her own, I think, CDL license, doing a job, all that, all doing great. Unfortunately, because of the cuts, that program to give that stipend is gone. We can't give that stipend to anyone. So someone in that same position, that which person had helped her for that month or so, would not help that person right now because we can't give them that money. So that's literally now might be a difference between a person being on the street and going to the oceanfront, hiding from the police, trying to do that and live in, versus things that staying and then able to transition, get their life together and keep on moving. It's things like that. That's a real life example of what they call that. We know places that literally lost $6 billion in funding, 6 with a B, because it was coming from HUD. So the whole HUD program got closed out. So that's all that. And that was one of the grants that we was getting before. But now that whole organization didn't have that. Actually, that organization had to close down their doors. And is a major funder in the area, not just us, but in the area. But they're a national funder, but they had to close down their doors here in the area, in the Hampton Roads area. And that's like literal, action of people. So when someone say, hey, well, where that's coming from, that's exactly the impact of what you're seeing. So that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think people look past, because of what I do, I have to look down the road. Okay. So I'm days, weeks, months, years into looking at things. So when you take a situation like you're just explaining, so if that person's on the street, they're going to turn to probably something illegal to take care of themselves. They're going to get locked up. Then the system has got to pay for them to be locked up.
Right.
And then the taxpayers are going to be complaining about, it's just a circle.
Circle.
It's a vicious
cycle
that takes place.
Yes.
One of the questions I wanted to ask, I don't know if you know specifically about how long you've been doing this, how many or how per year or how many people you help with the housing, finding the housing, and then now how many you think you're going to be able to help, the difference between the two? So we
started our custom housing program 2020 through a grant program, a 3-year grant program.
Okay.
Since tracking that program, because tracking outcomes for the grant,
Right.
we have up to date from 2022, we have serviced, I would say, up to 500 people since 2022 in that program, as far as replacing them, as far as in helping them to transition into their own place, whether preventative or whether their own individual working with the landlord.
These are all separate incidents. You're over 100 per year.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
basically.
yes.
And 3 days.
Yes, and so
Okay.
yes, and so the program continues, and I want to put emphasis on it. We can't afford to not do the work. The program will continue even though the funding has cut back. We must continue to do the work, and we now know we have to dig deeper and work harder to try to find more supporters and to find more partners, the ones that are closing their doors because of the funding cutbacks, to move forward. Housing is a major crisis right now.
I think it is for people that
Yes.
can normally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So our everyday, Sean, we get a call where a person is sleeping in the car, sometimes with their children, and we normally would say, "Okay, we need to help you to transition." The shelters are full. There's all the people that we work with. Everything is completely full.
Yeah.
So with a new, I think one of the new orders, I think we read about a month ago, that they were going to be, as far as there was going to be a transition of homeless people going to no longer be able to sleep on the streets. They was going to move homeless people off the streets.
What is this now?
There was, and I'm that's an advocate. I'm still reading up on it, but there's maybe an executive order where homeless people that's sleeping on the streets are no longer going to.
Or is this a federal executive order? Is this something coming from the Trump administration, or is this something that's coming from like
the executive order from the administration?
Oh, okay.
If you are homeless and you are sleeping, and I'm still reading up on it myself,
right,
as far as being able to, if you are homeless and you're sleeping on the street and you're around businesses and those businesses do not want you there or in the area, there may be the ability to be able to have those people arrested or moved because they're sleeping in the area. Right. That was one of the pieces that we're reading up on now, because our concern is if that happens and the shelters are full, there's no beds. What is the solution? So before they even take place or that move forward, there have to be a solution. So if that moves forward, if that goes through, that will definitely increase the work for.
And what that was is basically a few years ago, well, before last administrations, it was a emphasis on housing first, which was one of the programs that nationally.
You're talking about the Biden administration? Was
Biden
it executive?
Yeah, executive order, and it was a, each state have to interact with it differently,
right.
But really it was a mindset like saying, hey, get people in housing first, then deal with their issues.
Exactly.
Because if you're trying to deal with their issue and they don't have any housing, that is not really going to solve the issue.
Yeah.
So get them in housing, then deal with their issues. The current administration reversed that and saying no more housing first, which the way you cut that is stop HUD from doing that payout. So that's where the whole HUD got the whole dismantling.
Yeah. So when you're down in it, you understand it better.
Yes.
Like, so if you're never in it or you never come across those situations, I don't think you can really understand how it all works.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've worked with gentlemen that I'm gonna call them gentlemen, but they're guys that helped me out. And they basically were day help, and they had issues. And one of the things that we always talked about is why they had a difficult time creating structure. And a lot of that was because they didn't have a place to go that was consistent. So when they did have a place to go for a period of time, they perform better, they function better. So I understand it now. You're going to be in a situation where there's no place to go. Once again, like I said, now you're going to arrest them, lock them up, put them someplace, and then the system has to take care of them.
Yes. So the funding still have to come in.
You need to just switch it around what you're doing with the money.
Yes. And that's where, challenges, and this for me isn't like trying to say anything political. It's just the part of that is
it's
where your money is going.
It's about
the resources.
Right.
So do you with those resources, can you prevent it?
Right.
Yeah, if you could prevent it, then you don't have to deal with it afterwards.
All the side effects of yes,
things.
Because they're much greater.
Exactly.
If you do it the way.
Remember the old people say the ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure.
Yeah, well, a lot of old people ain't around to teach people those things anymore.
The old souls.
Yes. Interesting. So, I think, like I said, your organization was one that's opened up my eyes. I've always wanted to do something. So, I'm going to switch gears with my nonprofit to do something else. But what do we need to do to help you besides bringing attention to what you're doing? You guys need funding, right?
Yes.
And you need, you may have to switch it to focus on the housing issue, because that might be
the first. Yes.
Yeah, the first thing. What can you tell people that they can do that?
So we are increasing the services. Case management services is key. That's the point of contact, and then the services. So we are reaching out, trying to develop new partners, new supporters, to replace a lot of the people that we have relied on in the past that have supported us for years. And so we're hoping that the funding for those groups, as far as foundations, will regroup and come back to the table as far as with us in the future. But until we do, we are looking for individuals that will like to be involved. And being involved could be very simple, as far as having a truck to be able to pick up, to deliver the beds over to the transitional housing program for people in our program that may need a bed or may need a mattress, and someone is donating. And so we are looking for people that would like to get involved. Of course, if you are a funder, we would love to talk to you. But in small things matters. Yeah. And so there are a lot of ways that you can get involved as far as the life skills. We have individuals that are waiting for life skill coaches, as far as persons that can help guide them through the process, through getting their GED. We have the case managers that are always looking for support services. Yeah. One of the funding cutbacks that we had was as far as the gift cards that was donated to us for groceries. That was one of the grants. That was one of the side effects as far as with the cutbacks. So the gift cards that we had is just going to, say, Food Lion or Aldi, or picking up the gift cards and just dropping them by our office. That would be a big, just the small things like that.
Right.
That really matters. So don't think that you would have to do a lot to get involved. There's small things. We at one point we was doing like $5 Friday. $5 Friday was saying, instead of you purchase a cup of coffee on Friday for $5, donate that $5 to New Vision. And so, and that makes a big difference, because a bus pass to travel to work or to travel to school could be $5, a little bit more than $5, but just think about it like that. So instead of purchasing the Starbucks coffee on Friday,
Right.
make the donation to our organization for $5, and it can makes a big difference.
Okay. I'm going to ask you the same question, and I just want each person's answer. Okay. What would you say, or how would you explain it to someone that says, you just need to get off your butt, okay, and go to work and do what you need to do to get yourself ahead? What would you say to that person?
Okay. When I train, I ask who was in your circle.
Okay.
Because where you're at right now, there was someone in your circle. Take away all those people, and that's what we have. So if you went to school, you changed a tire on your car, or you are working, think about who were those people that help you. You want to name a brother, a sister, or a distant aunt, a cousin, or someone. Someone was in your circle. There's no one that can say that they have elevated and not had someone in the circle. So we work with no one in the circle. So that would be my answer, because I hear that question a lot.
Oh, I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be somebody.
Exactly. So my question is, who was in your circle? And sometimes people will say, well, there was no one in your circle. I said, did you go to school? Did you go to college? Yes, I went to school. So where did you sleep when you was going to school?
Right.
And so how did you get to school? I had a car. So did someone donate the car to you? No, my parents or my aunt. Someone was in your circle. Okay. So just think about, we work with people. There is no one in that circle. So when you say get a job, or you can't, why can't you take care of yourself? Think about no one in the circle versus who you had in your circle. So that's my answer to that question.
Okay. Where's your answer, Sean?
Yes, I mean that's really the great answer, because that is the truth of the matter. I think a lot of times when people say that, just get going, or just suck it up, or so on, and I get it. I get that, because a lot of times in our generation, or if you're older, you start to say, well, why? And we dealing mostly with younger people, like, why they acting that way, and everyone's in their feelings, that part. However, that's not bad things. They're actually really trying to understand and trying to move ahead. So, kind of the same way, didn't you have someone else to talk to?
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't you have someone to say, even to say to you, suck it up?
Yes.
Right. But suck it up because of this. What? Suck it up because you can.
This is just a moment.
This is just a moment
to
to frame it for you.
Yeah,
if you don't have someone to frame it for you, your reality is that moment, and you think that's your future, right? We need to reposition and give them a future that they could look at, that they could aspire to. What's one of the things that I remember being in school, and times like, why Dan do this versus this, is because I had something to aspire to. But if you didn't have that to aspire to, what else are you going to do? You're just going to keep on living.
Or a place to sleep.
And they just say, you're trying to aspire to. I don't need some food, right? As they say, as a Maslow, I know I'm a great at school, but if your basic needs aren't met, you can't think higher than that. Right. So it's important to get those basic needs met so that they can think higher than that.
So what I'm hearing is, don't prejudge, because you don't know what those experiences are. And those people that are in that situation, you may need to take the time to understand them.
And I would say for that person, what's that time when you had that difficult, when you had, most people have had some part in their life that had that.
There's something that all of us have a challenge dealing with, that most of the time what I figured out is we don't want to acknowledge that we have that issue, but we all do.
And they're not relating.
You have to be receptive.
You have to be doing that. Yes.
And I just want to kind of share, everybody have different experiences as far as in life, and when you say as far as judging, I grew up on a farm. My father was a tobacco farmer, so I could totally, what I'm doing now has totally not related to what I do when I was on the farm.
Well, it kind of does. The hard work that you learn from your parents.
So, and one of the things that still sticks in my mind when, and I just want to share this one thing, when I was working in that facility with the boys, one of my jobs was to teach them the life skills to be self-sufficient adults. So I remember them having the trash can in their room, and they were putting the trash all around the trash can, not in the trash can. And then I went and got a trash bag, and I was like, okay, let's use the trash bag. And one of them said, well, why are you using a trash bag? And I was, in my mind, well, that's the kind of question, because everyone needs to put a trash bag in the trash can.
That's because that's how you grew up.
And so they was like, I've never seen that before.
Right.
So then it clicked on me. They've never had the experience of knowing what the need was. A trash bag gathers the trash. Right. It's just those small things.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So those small things, when someone comes and they, and just the small trash bag or changing a tire of a car, there's no one there if you had no one there to teach you, you don't know the value. So we can't kind of judge, because I'm sitting there like, why wouldn't you know that you need to put a trash can? But then I had to step back.
Right.
If no one ever taught you the significance of why, then you wouldn't know. So we all got to think about those things. So before we judge people, we got to think about where we came from. And if there's someone is doing something, let's ask why they're doing it versus saying, why are you doing that? So.
Right. So I guess what I'm hearing is from both of you is don't judge people based on your
expectations, yes, and experiences, yes.
All right. Mm-hmm. All right, so that concludes today's episode of...
Can I ask something real quickly, because this is...
Can you ask me?
Yes,
you can definitely ask me anything you like.
I wanted to give information.
I'm open book.
You was talking about funding or ways to support us. We have our 7th gala coming up in November, and that's gala is our... is to support us in one of our big events, actually our biggest event for the year. We're having a theme that's around like Queen Charlotte?
Yes.
The royalty theme of that. So you're going to have the dress.
You have the dress, yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be a huge fun, but we're looking for people who want to be table sponsors.
Yes.
People who might want to support, just get tickets. You could do a variety of different things.
Yes.
Of course, it's on our website, which is New Vision
for sale.
Youth Services Inc.
Yes.
.org.
And you can go
and you can go in and get your tickets and stuff like that. Yes. But it's a great way to have fun and support a greater cause of what we're doing, because all the funds and everything going to be going back to the organization that we in.
I apologize. Talk about your social media platforms where everyone can find you. Go ahead.
Yes, we're on Facebook.
Yes. So the website, www.newvision.youthservicesinc.org. Mm-hmm. If you just do a Google, everything will pop up, all of our social sites. We're on Twitter, Instagram. We just jumped on Blue Sky. Mm-hmm. So all the platforms are there.
LinkedIn.
We have LinkedIn. We have several platforms going right now in support. Of course, one of the main things is trying to make up for the cutbacks that we have. So you're able to go into our website and make a donation through many platforms that we have going. Of course, the gala, just a random donation in general. And so there's many different ways that you can connect with us, but just Googling just New Vision Youth Services, there's 1,000 things that'll pop up and ways that you can get involved and support us at many, many different levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Joe Smith will be at our gala too. NBA former number 1 draft pick. And
okay. Where is it going to be held?
It's in Chesapeake.
So the site of it's in the Greenbrier area in Chesapeake.
Greenbrier area.
And so the location is right there. But pull up
it's a beautiful location.
Yes,
I just
pull up.
Yes.
So go on our website. The address and the location in Chesapeake is located there, where you can purchase your ticket and get the information as far as how to get involved.
Yeah, I want to make sure we give Joe some credit.
Yeah,
he's come back to the area and he's really active in the community.
Absolutely.
we appreciate him so much. He's done a lot since he's been here. So, am I forgetting anything else?
Like I said, this one special thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here.
Absolutely.
And it's a lovely place here. And so we want to thank you for letting us to be able to share our work and sharing our ambition and the challenges that many of the organizations are going through right now.
Yes, absolutely. So this is final. Thank you for following us on Listen Up, and we'll catch you next time on Listen Up.
Yes, thank you.
If you enjoyed today's episode, I'm going to ask you to click on the links below, follow, subscribe, become part of the conversation. And remember, listen up.